one of the things I came up with the idea for Behavioural Economics for kids was looking at how we can get across difficult, challenging information in fairly simple forms. So one of the things I've used in my class is I've actually used the children's book to illustrate reference dependence, which is the concept that where you are determines how you think about things. The other thing that sort of occurred to me was that my father-in-law is a cartoonist, and so I have access to some great skills there. And I thought between us we made a great team of being able to combine sort of the cartooning skills with my skills and my knowledge of behavioural econ. Well, several different lessons. I mean, one of the things I'd like is for managers to think about how they behave as well. One of the things that comes across in the book is obviously we're talking about how children behave, but the idea is that the behaviours go much further than that. Consumers behave like this, and managers themselves behave like this. So one example I'll give is this idea of sort of sunk costs. That a lot of managers keep on going with ideas that quite frankly have failed because they can't bear to admit they've failed. So one of the things I'd say to managers is think, if you've got a project that's failed, it might be time to pull the plug. There's no shame in doing that. Well, I teach several different classes, and one class I teach is competition. And so one of the things I'm keen to emphasise is that one of the things we should be trying to do in business is to do as best we can for ourselves and our consumers. It's not about beating the competition. And so I want to get across this idea, almost that sort of ideas of having to beat other people is kind of childishly silly. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the idea of references. And reference prices is often how we set our pricing. We think about what other things are priced at, and that's how we decide what makes a good price. And so this is a really important concept that managers should know. And finally, I use it in my PhD seminar. And it's kind of funny, but the idea is that PhD seminar might not be where you think of these sort of ideas. But in order to write a cartoon book, you need to be really clear and simple. And it's a great memory aid for students. I mean, clearly, they're not going to get a doctorate on reading this book, but it's good fun.